So when you're trailing a guy that just picked off the ball, the last thing you think is you're going to get a fumble right at you, huh?
That is the last thing I'm thinking, but I just think we get down the field, making the block so we can try and go score the ball. And when I saw it, I just jumped on the ball.
I was like, holy crap, we need to get on this one, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Just talk a little bit about having to go up and play the number 1 team in the number 2 team in the country, but with the number 1 in a lot of different statistics, and number 1 in the conference.
Going up there is going to be pretty fun for us. I think we're going to practice well this week, get all our keys down, and do the fundamental things that the coach has been teaching us. And we're going to go up there and, like Coach Tech said, probably expect to win. So, yeah.
How difficult is that when you're going up against a 5-time champion, national champion?
It's not that difficult, I don't think, because as a transfer, I played at Iowa, and I knew what they did. They beat us on the last second field goal, and they're just doing the same thing they were doing for the past year. It's just running the ball, play action, like Coach said, just the same things. We just got to go, have our keys, eyes where we need to be, and go up there and see what we can do and beat them.
The third quarter on Saturday, did you see anything psychologically that the Bears team was beat? Did you see your Bears continue to fight?
We fought the whole game. There's nothing that I didn't see that we didn't do. We just have to come out and be better in the third quarter, show more effort. I don't know what it was. Like, we actually know we had the effort. We had everything we needed. We just, I don't know what it was. You just have to come out and do better as a team, both defense and offense.
You guys sound pretty confident after the game the other day. A couple of you guys did. You kind of do today. How are you able to keep that?
Being able to keep it is just having focus and believing in what we can do and believing in our culture and what we're going to do here, and that we're just going to change it around and become the team that we want to be.
Angelo, when you're going up against a team that's a running team, as a linebacker, do you like a running team coming at you more than a passing team, or what would you rather have?
Me personally,
yeah.
Running team, I get more tackles, but if it's a passing team, that means I can try and get a pick, make a play, something like that, just little things like that. But our defense, we're built to stop the run, defend the pass, things like that. So anyway, it doesn't matter for us. We'll do both. When
you have somebody like Lance Dunn, who is at the top of the statistics, already scored 10 touchdowns, it's like, be the best, beat the best. Do you kind of feel that way?
Yeah, we go out there for them and do what we need to do. I think we can beat them. Expect to beat them.
When you're going from one tough ranked opponent to another, especially when there was kind of that letdown in the third quarter, what do you guys have to do this week to make sure you get 4 complete quarters?
Practice whistle snap every play, start fast, finish strong. So we got to do throughout all practice this week and do it in the game, and I feel sure we'll do it in the game this week.
Deion, I mean, you're not going to be surprised by anything the Bison do. You've seen them a lot. This is are they any different than they've been in the past, or is it just kind of like reload and come at you again?
They're the same team they've been in the past. We watched a few tape on them. They're hard-nosed guys, run to the football. You know, they play really well. You can tell they're well coached, and you know it's going to be a nice competition, and we're well coached as well, and we play hard, so it'll be a nice game to play. But yeah, from my evaluation of film, they're still the same Bison that we always see.
Seemed like it's the last weekend's game with Illinois State, kind of the same with last year's game with North Dakota State. That second half was where it turned for the opposition. This past Saturday, did you see anything different with your Bears, psychologically, physically, anything different?
No, I mean, coaches always say the game is won in the fourth quarter. And I mean, you have to play all 4 quarters to win a game, and obviously we didn't play as well as we should have in the third quarter, because if you look at our plan to win, we dominated every other quarter except for the third quarter, so it hurts us, and we know we have to play well all 4 quarters in order to win a game.
When was the first time that you returned a kick or a punt, and when did you realize it was something that you would be this good at?
I first returned one in like the 5th grade, and then I started returning a lot of them, and I just really felt good about it, and it really just became another part of the game that I really liked. And like from Pee Wee, I played defense and offense and stuff like that. But when it came to special teams, I took that different approach, and I was watching like NFL and Devin Hester and that type of guy, and I just really liked how he played, and I seen how it brought more excitement to the game in some aspects. So I really took it personal to try to make the best out of every return.
What's different about the return game, especially compared to the preparation as a receiver? How do you work on your skills? What's different about working on your return game?
Working on the return game, sometimes, I mean, it's something like I just kind of go with, but I still watch tape on them, on like how the kicker, how the punter kicks the ball, punts the ball, whatever. I kind of watch how the return team comes down, who come down the fastest, who does stuff like that. And it's really not something that you can just, as a returner, just like, well, I can do this, I can do that. You know, you just got to take the coaching points that the coaches see, because they see things that I can't see, and they just tell me to trust it, and I trust them. So I just go with it, and the most importantly, through the week, I just make sure that I'm fully confident with catching the punch. So I take the special teams period serious. I'm catching punts and stuff like that. Just, you know, the biggest thing is to get the ball back to the offense. So other than that, that's really it.
When you're running, do you see the second level guys? I mean, you see the guys in front of you, but are you thinking 2 steps ahead or 3 steps ahead? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Most of the time, you know, it's to make the first guy miss and get vertical. So, I mean, the field vision is, I'm always like looking to what I can do next. I'm like setting the guy up yards behind. I don't really try to, you know, just wait until he's right in my face to do what I do. Try to set him up and then make a move. And I'm always like trying to be 2 steps ahead of everybody else, you know. So I really am.
What's your thought process like when the ball's in the air? Because there's got to be like a checklist of things you got to go through. Where am I at in the field? Should I fair catch this? Where's the other guys? How do you manage all that? And
Honestly, I kind of watch the flight of the ball. Sometimes you can get a punter to kick it kind of flat, and that's like what a return man really likes is when they kick it flat, because I mean he's kind of outkicked his coverage, so the ball gets there faster than the guys that are covering gets there. So with those type of balls, I really know like that, hey, this is a returnable ball. Or the balls that like in my head, I like trigger like, all right, this ball's been up for like 3 or 4 seconds. I should fair catch, you know. So some of those like the flatter kicks are the ones that you really want to take a chance on, not those that, you know, that's hanging up there, because if it's hanging up there, my head is like above what my peripheral can see. So I don't want to, you know, just take a chance and risk, you know, turning the ball over. So.
Is there something you can compare that feeling to help us understand what that 4 seconds is like? I mean, is it like just standing in the middle of the street? Like what how can you help us understand what's going through your head in those 4 or 5 seconds?
That's kind of hard, but the most thing that I can say is when the ball's hanging in the air, I do feel like the pressure coming towards me. It's like a weird feeling. You can feel them like coming towards you, and like, all right, this doesn't feel right, you know. I can catch it or something, like fair catch it, but I can't really compare it to nothing. Like, it's just an adrenaline rush that I get, that I'm like, all right, this is very returnable. So I just like, you know, put it in my head and I'm gonna return it, and then if it's not, I'm like, off the foot, I can almost feel like this is not the one, you know. So can't really.
It seemed like last year maybe they were kicking away from you a lot more. Are you noticing that still, or is it that they really can't do much, especially in the punt situation?
Yes, some teams were kicking away last year, but this year I really haven't got a lot to kick away. But I mean, it's conference play now, so we might see it. Illinois State didn't punt but twice, and that was like in our like towards our green zone, so I had to, you know, stand on the 10-yard line. Didn't have much options there. We wouldn't be surprised if they start kicking away from us, but I mean it's only 53 yards you can kick it, so I try to, like, you know, that comes back with film study on how the punter kicks, so I can like stand like a certain direction to where I can get to the ball fast, try to help our team.
In the last 4 or 5 years, what kind of things have you done to improve your game as a receiver and just as a weapon on the offensive side of the ball?
Taking coaching is the #1 thing. Coach Ray does a great job of telling us, with being a great receiver he does a great job of telling us what we can do to win. And I mean, even coming from high school, I was always a threat on offense. So I mean, I didn't really look at myself as just a return man. I always knew what I could do on the offensive side. It was just a matter of timing and, you know, game planning and things like that. But the preparation as a receiver is very more like, it's more like critical to understand than as a returner. You know, the return game is kind of tough, but being a receiver is more tough because you're out there 60, 70 plays and you have to lock in for those plays, tired or not. we have to remember our signals and stuff like that. But that just comes with preparation and taking every day of practice serious. So it's not really too bad. But 4 or 5 years of it is really helped me a lot.
We've heard multiple of you guys say that you expect to win, you think you're good enough to win against the big guys. What has shown you that you're able to do that? What shows you that you're up there with them?
I really don't like reminiscing on the past, but you know, the way we came out, we lost against Mizzou, but we knew where we stood as an offense, and I don't really want to keep reflecting on that because it was 4 weeks ago. We have bigger games to play, but just like from the summertime, the chemistry we had with each other, when we knew we were clicking, we was like, man, we could be something special, and we all felt that. And we just got to get back to that and stay consistent with that and stay in that same mindset throughout the whole game, regardless of, you know, what happens throughout the game. I feel sometimes we feel like if we go 3 and out, it's over with. You know, we have to still build off of the success that we know we can have, because I mean, this college football is hard to win, and you can change a game immediately. You know, it don't matter how much you're down. We have to grasp that in our mind that we can come back, we can be successful. We're a great team, and we're prepared. Which we do prepare every week hard, man. And it's a matter of going out there on Saturday and remembering the preparation that we put in and having full confidence. And I think that's the big thing, the confidence. We have to keep that throughout the fourth quarter.